As the deadly Israeli offensive persists in the war-torn Gaza, people face a dire humanitarian situation, with widespread suffering and urgent needs for aid. The relentless airstrikes and ground operations have left the densely populated enclave grappling with a growing number of casualties and severe infrastructure damage.
We're seeing humanitarian catastrophe unfold before our eyes here across the Gaza Strip. It's not just that there's 85% of the population that has been displaced. Many of them have been displaced multiple times. Here in Rafah, where I am, there's shelters, spontaneous shelters everywhere. People are sleeping under tarpaulins, under makeshift tents, in very crowded shelters.
Basic necessities such as food, water, and electricity are increasingly scarce, exacerbating the hardships faced by Gaza's population. Thousands of families have been displaced, seeking shelter in overcrowded schools and makeshift structures, heightening the risk of the spread of diseases and creating dire living conditions.
Despite the major challenges to delivering humanitarian assistance in Gaza, our partners have provided healthcare and medical services to about 500,000 people since 7 October, but the needs are massive, and just over a third of more than 350 formal and informal shelters for internally displaced people in Gaza have access to any sort of medical points.
International leaders are intensifying diplomatic efforts to broker a ceasefire and engage in constructive dialogue between the conflicting parties. As the international community rallies to address the unfolding crisis in Gaza, the immediate focus remains on securing a ceasefire to halt the loss of civilian lives and create a conducive environment for humanitarian aid to reach those affected by the conflict.
The United States has once again indicated a lack of commitment to ending the violence in Gaza and safeguarding civilian lives. Indeed, the veto granted Israel unchecked freedom for additional, unrestricted, and indiscriminate bombing on civilian infrastructure and the population of Gaza without any time constraints.